DreamHack Open is brought to you by Astro, Monster Energy, Corsair, Hacks, and GGBet.
DreamHack is the world's largest computer festival, a local area network gathering with live concerts, competitions, digital art, and gaming. It is arranged twice per year in the Elmia Exhibition and Convention Center in Jönköping, Sweden, and it holds the record by the Guinness Book of World Records as the world's largest LAN party and computer festival. Now, I will say, if you've been here or on your way here or have been here in the past, this place is what one might say is lit. Now, if we're going to continue about topics that are lit, I ask you to vote in chat as to what you thought about a tucked-in polo. It was either a 1 for yes or 0 for no. And now I did the calculation myself. I sat there and I kept a count of all of the votes that came in. And while I introduce my companions here on the desk, and Bleh and Pimp, I want to know what you have to say about the vote being largely on the side of no.
I mean, it's Twitch, guys. There's not much more to say, Trace. I think they don't know what's going on outside of the computer rooms. No, kidding. Trace,
yes.
Go home.
All right, well, on that note, Jacob told me to leave, and I'm going to be leaving, but not before I introduce up our next matchup. It's going to be LDLC versus Heroic. And my goodness, Group A carries on. We've already seen Complexity Existence kicking off this morning, and Complexity 16-10 there. A slow start, got a little shaky, but then they wrapped it all up and brought it back home.
Yeah, this is one of the groups where, I mean, only 2 groups, but in this group especially, the games actually went the way we expected it to. Complexity taking the win, and now they're going to be facing off against the winner of the next matchup. It's got LDLC versus Heroic. I'm looking forward to this particular matchup so far. Although the previous one was kind of an upset, it was a big upset, Bravado winning the game, but it was expected to go the other way. This one, in my opinion, Pim, is a 50-50.
I would definitely agree. I think we have 2 teams right now who's playing the better version of Counter-Strike that these 2 teams have played in quite some time. So both looking in shape and both looking into get the W. Trace.
I think this is shaped up nicely, actually, Pimp. I think you're onto something.
Yeah.
I think it's shaped up into a 3 reasons why. Brought to you by Hacks GG. Pimp, do your thing, man.
Well, I got you 3 reasons why this game is going to be extra interesting. First one is the fact that technically, right now, LDLC is the best French team. I know we have Vitality in the mix right there. I know that the team is pretty goddamn good, but LDLC is the best team in France right now. They showcased that at IEM Chicago, where they were playing some definitely some of the best Counter-Strike we've seen from any French team in quite some time. This is not a team that you expect to be that good, but they showed up in Chicago and they were close of making the playoff, which would have been a huge surprise to that event. Now, the second reason why we have this game being super interesting is the fact that Heroic has started to win stuff all of a sudden. This is a team that has been on the move up for quite some time, that has some roster change. Now we see Freiberg being on the team, we see Merch being on the team, but all of a sudden this is a team that have found the winning ways. They are winning tournaments. They're not winning the Tier 1 tournaments, but they're attending Tier 2, Tier 3 tournaments, and they're winning them, which means this is a team that is constantly the best of the rest, and that's why I think they line up pretty well against LDLC. Third reason for why this is going to be extra interesting, obviously if you haven't caught the red line of this whole topic yet, both teams are in the same category. Category. There you go. Both teams are in there right now, and they're like in the category where both teams can go, you know, from being a Tier 1 team to Tier 2 team, and it's I hate you. It's pretty cool, and it's pretty nice to see both teams, you know, are moving up in the ranks. LDLC being the team that we didn't really expect them to be, and Heroic being the team that we finally expected them to be, being the 3rd best Danish team and being a team that you expect coming into DreamHack Opens, being able to contend for the title. So both teams trying out, you know, right now, both teams trying to be the better version of themselves, and this is why this matchup in particular is super interesting, because they line up so well against each other. It also reflects sort of the whole storyline of this DreamHack Open tournament, which is a place for the second teams, the Tier 2 teams, to showcase their potential. So a great matchup and should be an interesting match.
Yes, and those reasons brought to you by Hacks GG, the official apparel sponsor of DreamHack. And you should check them out by heading over to, well, guess what? Hacks GG.
Trace, what happened right there?
Harassment.
I don't know. I just wanted to be Tracer. Let's go ahead and start to talk a little bit about these vetoes, guys, because it is very important to see where this best of one goes. And again, best of ones, they do have a little essence of randomness to it. But Pimp, with the picture that you've painted, these teams are pretty much on par with each other.
Yeah, they are. They are pretty much on par with each other. But I just wanted to add one quick thing with the vetoes would be, we've said it's going to be middle ground maps here, and this one in particular, I think it's for a fact going to go down to a middle ground map like a Mirage, where things are going to get interesting. Yeah, we saw Duster getting called out at Bravado earlier, but we saw the same thing with the Complexity game, where it was kind of a middle ground map. They played Mirage, and I'm expecting the same thing coming out here in this particular matchup, Trace.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, it is, again, Mirage. It's one of the maps we always talk about when you talk best of one vetoes, like Mirage, Inferno, to some extent. It's going to be interesting to see if it comes down to Mirage. I think you're right. I think there's a great possibility that it gets down there. And I would say that for Heroic's pair, it's a great map for them, and for LDLC, it's a great map for them. So I feel, the picture we try to paint is that both these teams are pretty equal in pretty much all aspects of the game. They have a similar map pool as well, where they like the Mirages, they like the Infernos, and they like to play some close games. So overall, this should be potentially the closest game of the day.
Boom. Vetoes flying in left and right. Can't even stop them if I wanted to.
There we go.
Where are we going, boys?
Well, LDLC ban going for the Mirage ban. Train can make sense. I expected LDLC to go for the ban on Train, to be honest. But, it's fine. I think Train's a map where, like Mirage, is going to be a pretty close affair. You know what I'm looking forward to? I'm looking forward to Mertz. He was tearing it up at Toyota Masters in Thailand, where, sure, the teams were in, the best teams out there, but they had some pretty decent teams. There was Kingwin, Tyler was playing pretty decently as well. So I'm looking forward to see Mertz go off on this map. On the other hand, Train, CD side, LDLC. I love the T side in almost all the maps they play, but the CD side is when they tend to struggle. And if you're a team like Heroic or Optic, you're going to find us little holes in their setup, and they're going to abuse that. So I'm a little worried for LDLC, considering it's Train.
I'm glad you brought up Mertz, because I feel he's been by far the best player for Heroic as of lately. He was by far the MVP of the two tournaments they have won so far this year, and he's been playing some pretty stellar Counter-Strike ever since his move from North into Heroic. He's getting more responsibility, he's getting more freedom, and he's kind of like flushing as a player right now and becoming, the Mertz that we thought he could be a year ago from today. Now, you said it yourself, he's going up against LDLC, and their counterpart to the MVP role, Turno, is not necessarily the star player of that team. He's a decent player, and he does some sick stuff once in a while, but he's not consistently delivering to the same level as Mertz. And when you talk Train, and when you talk, in general Counter-Strikes and all battling against each other, you want to go for the Mertz one right here. That's a big Ed factor and a big win condition for Heroic going into this one.
Got a win condition for you guys. It's going to be, can Heroic show up today? Freiburg, Madia, Cillian, Mertz, and S-Tag, and I believe either yesterday or today is the birthday of S-Tag, so perhaps some of that juju, some of that mojo has carried over, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, we all know that you always play better the day after your birthday, Trace, so that's definitely going to be Heroic winning.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
And if you didn't know that, you should try playing Counter-Strike after your birthday, obviously. I didn't, but the point is, it wouldn't matter, right?
No, because you suck.
I was going to say because, I'm good all the time, but, I think you have a point as well. At least looking Heroic, it's been a turbulent year for them, to say the least.
Yeah, it's not been the year that they hoped for. It's a Danish team that is, again, it's been the third best Danish team for quite some time. They're launched channels by Tricked, who are some decent Danish guys as well, but they've never really broken through ever since they lost Glaive as the in-game leader to Astralis. It's a team that is constantly, trying to find their way through, constantly trying to break through the scene and get back into the top 10, get back into the top 15. They just haven't been able to do it so far. Now they sort of like changed their route to doing so. They're starting to attend more of the Tier 2 tournaments, Tier 3 tournaments, roughly, and partly because they can't qualify for the Tier 1 tournaments, and that's, obviously a big problem. But the fact they've started to win those and actually showed some consistency gives me hope that we can see Heroic going into 2019 and give it another shot at breaking into the top 15 and breaking it into the top 10 of the scene.
Now, another interesting aspect of this Heroic lineup is the addition or re-addition therein of Peacemaker. Now, let's talk about what he brings to the table, and I guess between the two of you, one of you has to have something to say.
All right, yeah,
Jacob?
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
That's the thing, right? With Peacemaker, he's been in every team out there. Almost like, I've lost track of the number of teams he's been on. But looking at Toyota, he just came in at the last minute. And, I mean, they got the win end of the day. Sure, it looked a little shaky here and there, especially in the grand finals where Tyler almost got the reverse sweep going there. But end of the day, if he is being picked by teams, by the players, there must be something going on there, right? There must be something clicking, and he does, at least from what I've heard, he does put in a lot of work.
He sure does.
Yeah, he does something like that. Just like LDLC is going to be trying to put that work in over here on Heroic. Wow, I was trying to read Toinu and Heroic at the same time. Anyway, Toinu, Devaduvek, Alex, Logan, and Amanek. Now, Devaduvek, Amanek, it has been an interesting side to at least watch their career kind of blossom and unfold to where it is now, and they find themselves again in the front running here within LDLC. We know they spent some time within the Misfits. They spent some time in North America. Yep. They do have a little bit of history there. They've started to put in the work, started to build their pedigree up. Really haven't grabbed too many trophies under their name, but I think within this lineup, there's a real shot.
Yeah, one thing I really like about this lineup is the way they play Counter-Strike, right? It's clinical, it's basics, it's some very solid fundamentals going down, and it also comes under the fact that Amanek, Devaduvek, they play with Sean Gears, you had Toinu and Alex, who picked up whatever they could from Existence when they're playing with them early in LDLC. So it's like two different styles and, you know, thought of how to play Counter-Strike being put together into the melting pot, and Alex has done such a great job leading his team to where they are right now. We call them the best French team, but I think they really haven't hit their peak yet. They're still getting there, and I'm really excited to see them. And one guy in particular would be Amanek. This guy is, yeah, not many people would call him a star, so to speak, especially in this team, considering the way they play Counter-Strike doesn't really allow one player to really, you know, go off, so to speak. But if you just look at the way he's used by Alex and some of the playmaking he does, and also just his stats, this guy has been by far the best player in LDLC in my books.
There's no doubt that Amanek is a guy you have to look out for in the future. Just by playing against him in FPL, just by playing against him in PUCs, you just instantly realize how good individually he is. He's so annoying to play against as well, because he does, as you said, he makes plays, he makes those playmaking decisions, and he doesn't really give a damn about whatever something is stupid or whatever something is smart. He just does it out of the feeling he has, and he's often able to pull it through with the amazing aim he also has to support that, you know, play style. So in that regard, he's going to be one for the future. No doubt about it. He's definitely the star of this LDLC team, who is, as you said, starting to play better and better.
And you could be the star of Twitch chat right now. You at home, sitting there in your underwear, just getting your hands back on the keyboard, looking in here and trying to type who you think is going to win using exclamation point LDLC or exclamation point OG, which is kind of strange, but nonetheless, I'm sure you could type that. Optic not running here, but I guess we'll count those votes
HRC,
towards,
I guess?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's kind of like Heroic, but not really at the same time.
I just love the pictures you paint in my head with your words, Trace.
You like that?
Yeah, the one with the underwear and, you know.
Are they typing with the left hand or the right hand, Trace?
I'm just talking about, like, you know, maybe you had your hands on your armrest. I don't know what pictures you guys have painting in your minds, but I think perhaps we just get some predictions from you instead, and maybe enough of the imagery.
All right.
Yeah.
Jacob?
I think this is going to be a super, super close one. I mean, Heroic just came in from a win at the Toyota's Masters. LDLC came back from a solid showing at Chicago. That was online. Yeah. Online, they didn't look too good after coming home from that event, but that's sometimes what you see with these underdog teams. They overperform a little bit online. They go back online, think to themselves that we're better than we actually are. Maybe lose a little bit of focus and don't win the games they should be winning. Now they're back online. They know that they had the taste of success at Chicago. I think LDLC is going to beat Heroic in this one. I think it's going to be a super, super close one, but I do believe my fellow Danes is going to lag a little bit against Amanek and Devaduvek.
I would have agreed with you on this if it was a different map, but I'm just going to actually edge with Heroic here, primarily because it is trained. The CD side really does matter, no matter how good your T side is. You need to really, you know, solidify your rounds, especially in the CD side, and that's where I think LDLC will struggle a little bit, right? And like you said, it's going to be a very close game. It's very 50-50, but because of train, I'm just going to side with Heroic. I'm going to go with your boys.
Cool, man.
Cool, man.
Cool, man.
Cool, man. Well, I'm going to cool it down a little bit more here and be the swing vote on the desk who goes for LDLC.
He jinxed it.
Just have to, by
I
the
knew
way.
you always was a smart guy, Trace.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, LDLC probably go away with this one. There's just too much raw fire. My God. Raw firepower going on right there. And in fact, I think it's time we take a look at the Twitch votes and the Twitch results. I asked you to get activated. I asked you to spam the chat, and you did just that. It would appear as though you're living the right dream. You're living the dream with me. We have already determined that LDLC will be winning this and not Optic Gaming. Actually, there's no way Optic Gaming can win this. Only time will tell, though. However, in the meantime, you might have the digital dash in your car, but instead, let's get that digital pass. Over to DreamHack.com/digital pass and grab that snipe pass. Yes, the only way to get the multi-view experience here for the DreamHack Open and the DreamHack Winter 2018 Run for the Money, which is battling through the group stages here. And as the story is told, it is about time to get into that matchup of LDLC versus Heroic. So if you're just joining it, it's just time for that to happen. And of course, for us to, I guess, deliver that would be bringing our commentators into the fold for their last game of the day. It's going to be Hugo and Risk. Guys, thoughts, questions, comments, concerns?
I think Optic just want a rematch. That's why they're playing this game, to be honest, after that last loss.
Yeah, they just want something different, right? Because what they got against Bravado was not what they wanted.
Thank you very much, Trace. Either way, Risk, we're jumping into this one. This is going to be a bit of an interesting game. Obviously not Optic playing. That was just a graphic bug.
Obviously.
Heroic. Are you repping your fellow Danes here? Why am I asking that question?
I'm gonna go with the same thing that the Pim said. I'm gonna sit on the fence and say that it's gonna be a really, really close game. Pim swayed the way of LDLC, so I'm gonna go against him because that's nice to do always.
The Danish way.
To disagree with Pim, that's always what you gotta do. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. I think Heroic will have just enough to take it home, even though statistics are saying that LDLC should grab this win. I feel like Heroic and especially Mert is so on fire right now after that LAN win and Toyota Masters, as Blair also mentioned, that they can pull this through. Also, I've had some experience kind of anti-stratting and looking at LDLC's demos because we've been playing against them in officials and in Prague with our own team. So I kind of have an idea. There are definitely holes in their armor. There's hole in that armor on Nuke. There's hole in that armor on Train as well that we're going to play. And also on several other maps, there are some things that can be exploited. I'm very curious to see what kind of homework Asilian and Peacemaker have been doing on them, because if they have been doing a good amount of homework, this is their opening matchup, they could have a real chance of finding some of these holes and really exploiting them.
Yeah, the best part about this is either team can really win as we head into Train, our final map for the day, Risk, but it is going to be Heroic on that CT side starting things off. LDLC, Terrorist, half here with the pistols. This is where we expect most of their success. Straight into it with a fast B rush here from the T side there into the empty bomb site. Heroic fully stacked up on A. This is going to be a bit of an error, but they will hear the footsteps of Devu Duvet getting up close. Modi finding that first kill. Bomb plant is already down for LDLC, but they don't have a kit on Heroic, and considering they played retake on B, that's very, very dangerous. They need to find these kills, and they need to find them fast, but that's exactly what's coming through. All these kills going the way of Heroic right now. 2 players up for LDLC. No Molotov in this heaven position for Twanu, but he does have a low player on the other side, finishing that kill off. Modi's dead, the bomb's being stuck, but it's not planted for Twanu. This is a huge error for LDLC. Twanu needs to get into position, but Mert has already gotten off that defuse, and Twanu's made it work with 4. Great round from him, and a bit of a weird setup for Heroic.
Yeah, a bit of a weird setup is an understatement, I would say. As you said, playing retake with no kit, also no utility on either side. This is a very strange pistol run. It's basically all on duels, all over the map, but Twanu brings it home with a Glock. Mid-range, close range, doesn't matter.
Yeah, all over it. 1-0 for LDLC, and that's a start they would have wanted here. Heroic actually going to be forcing into that second round, which does make some sense considering it means they have to eco the third if they lose this and then buy up in the fourth. Now that allows for the AWP. And exactly. As said, that's exactly what you want on Heroic. You want Mert on that weapon. Freiburg for now, he's deegged up and he's got a player up close, cannot deal with the threat at hand. It is Logan wrapping the bomb site, and in the meantime his teammates pushing up from that pop dog, finding kills left, right and center. Heroic already falling back for the save, and just like that, LDLC doubling down.
And that's something that LDLC are really, really good on Train, especially on the T side, is reacting to either an eco or a half-buy and not using any utilities, not losing any other weapon, and not showing anything strategically. So they could just go for the most default A take of all time, just saying, okay, we have the firepower, we have the confidence, we have the aim, let's just go out there, take the site, go down through the lanes and take the frags. And that way, you don't spend any extra money, you don't show anything strategically, you take the round very one-sided. Modi's going to be able to save, potentially, with this scout, but it doesn't really matter in the end, as Logan has been the only one dying off. They actually want to go for this. That's an interesting choice.
Yeah, that's worth it, I say. You get rid of all the guns, you put them onto full eco. They're going to be on P250s, USPs in this third round, so not a problem there for LDLC. And when you say they have the aim, you're definitely not wrong. I mean, this addition of Amanek and Devu Duvet has been brilliant for this team. Oh, really revitalized LDLC in a time where, you know, the original core of this roster was just in such a stagnant point for a year or so. So really nice to see them finding success recently. And in this round, it will be no different.
Yeah, they are 2 very, very talented players individually, but also the way that they work with a team. We saw that on Misfits, delivering some interesting results over there back when they were in that team, and now coming over to their French-speaking brothers in LDLC and completely growing. They're 12th in the world right now on the HLTV rankings, which is insane. I think they're around that area. I'm pretty sure if they're not 12, then around that area. And that's overperforming, but that's also down to the result they delivered at Chicago. This round, not really that interesting. It shouldn't be any more kills than this. 1 kill on the MAC-10. That's all.
Yeah, not a load of money made, but a load of money saved here for Heroic. They'll have a buy in the next round, and we're going to see Mertz go probably in with that AWP. He's saved up $4,000 for exactly that. S-Tag, he gets a kill, but he runs out of ammo. Luckily enough, there's a free one in the spawn. So buy none, get one free. Twanu looking to clean up that is S-Tag. Hoping his birthday celebrations weren't too heavy last night, because this is a pretty important game considering, like we've already talked about, Risk, these groups going a little bit surprising so far. Obviously, they're in a separate group to that of Bravado. They just upset earlier, but still, it's a tough opposition here in Sweden.
Apart from just the general, of course, competition of winning this tournament, these two teams are also very close on the rankings. Like 12th, of course, with LDLC, and 17th for Heroic. And both teams want to either solidify their position in that top 15 for the guys over at LDLC, and Heroic, they're going to want to get into that top 15 because that's where they feel like they belong with this current lineup. And they've been doing great. They're on the rise right now. We're going to see Mertz coming in with the AWP. Twanu, aggressive AWP playing, but he's on low. It's going to be Mertz with the frag.
Yeah, that was a double setup from Heroic, so even if Mertz misses a shot, I mean, there's a follow-up player to get rid of Twanu while he reloads the AWP. It's going to have to be retrieved by Alex, the resident Brit that we do have here. We've got a couple here in Sweden. We got Def and Alex. That's always nice.
That's nice.
And he's going to go for a pick down on B.
But then, once again, one of these things... Oh, that's a nice pick from Alex. But one of these things that LDLC sometimes do a bit too aggressively, in my opinion, is the way that they try to constantly force the issue inside without pushing. So when they're taking no man's land, basically the position above lower, they're going to push into that very aggressively. And that's exactly what Mertz read in that situation. He read that, okay, they're going to peek aggressively. I'm not going to take the outside peek with the AWP. I'm going to go inside and make sure I take that duel against no man's, which usually doesn't have an AWP on the CT side. So it's showing me that Heroic are reading into kind of the demos that you can watch of LDLC and how they play this. Very nicely done, but the round is far from over because Amanek is in a perfect position.
Yeah, he just wrapped all the way down Ivy, reading very well that Heroic gave away that position after the initial bouts of damage went down on B. Freiburg cleverly doesn't rotate to the connector. He goes for the long ramp. The problem is his teammate, not quite the same story. Cillian running to his death. And just like that, Freiburg may be on the long ramp, but there are two Ts here to shut it down. Alex is posted. Logan gets the kill. And even though Freiburg's found an exit, surely he's not long for this world. Davidovek's there. And 4-0 for LDLC. Yeah. Great start.
Super nice post plan for LDLC. The way that they hold it in every single angle. You see, they have two players CT, one player upper, one player lower. So the second that someone either takes a duel or dies somewhere on the map, forcing a CT to come in, there's going to be refrag instantly. So that way they just make sure, yes, we might not survive with 4 players or more, but we're going to be 100% sure that we win the round no matter what. And that's just the way you got to play post plans. They're doing it perfectly.
Now half buy for Heroic. They've saved some money. They've got that cash for the AWP to come through in the 6th round of the half. But for now, it's a scout on Freiburg. Pistols here and there. A couple of nades for a potential nade stack in T-Con. Great shot from Freiburg. Oh, he goes back in for more. This man is hungry for a headshot. And instead he gets tagged with a nade, and that allows LDLC to push up. And now this scout is rendered pretty unrealistic to get a frag here. Instead, the smoke goes down, so he won't even be challenged. Davidovek does at least trade things back, taking down body. Amanek winning his duel as well on Ivy, and that opens up the wrap towards CT spawn. And although Mertz is posted on it, it's just such a small pixel. It's hard for him to hit his shot, especially with his T-Con pushed out as well. Logan's doubled, and just like that, this round is probably over. It's only the birthday boy himself with a pistol.
Mertz gonna wish for a late happy birthday gift. Probably not gonna get it. From the French-Belgian / British side. It's a bit of a mouthful.
Bit of everything, yeah. I just go French.
They speak French.
They speak French, yeah. Well, that bomb's down already, so S-Tag has realized this round is done and dusted. He's just going to look for exit kills, see if LDLC hunt a little bit. Reason he's staying around this ladder is if anyone walks up it, that's a free kill for him. You're not going to have the accuracy on the ladder, so he doesn't want to drop into a player holding this position because he's just not going to win that duel. The problem is the flank is there, and Amanek will seal the deal for LDLC. 5-0 here, Risk. Great start for the terrorists.
Definitely. One thing we have to mention as well is that usually, following the meta and also the statistics of the Heroic, they're going to win around 55% of their rounds on CT side. The fact that they have not yet gotten a round on their CT side is a bit alarming, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, we're early days, but this can seriously snowball out of control. So this has got to be where Heroic start things off. Again, they have that Orb, but you do have the Org for Asilian, but he can't find the early pick. It's Tuano who crossed safely. Only so safely. The nade does tag him, but it's LDLC bursting, and S-Tag's caught or dropping off the top of the train. Asilian, he's going to get smoked off as well. He can't do a thing there. That's a team smoke down, but it gives him the room to get out onto the bomb site, and Freiburg's going to cover the cross. He won't let them pass. Shutting down Amanek, and Asilian lines up a double. Player knocked off the top of the train. Tuano gets himself a single frag, but just as that happens, Heroic are lighting up the scoreboard. 1 round finally found.
Very interesting that they go for the basically standard outside explosion, but the smokes come after they go down from pop dog. That's usually you want to throw your smokes from T-spawn or from upside pop dog, but they go out pop dog and then they smoke it. That just seems very weird to me, because then you're kind of setting yourself up for taking duels that are not in your favor. When you have those smokes down, you force the CTs to either pop out from the smoke or hold very defensive, allowing you to get map control. And then they throw them later, because it's fair enough if you want to go out and save all your utility for that post plan. That's also a choice. It's not a good choice in my opinion, but they just throw it 5 seconds later than normal. That just makes no sense to me. But then again, I've only seen this once before. It might be genius, but just didn't work this round.
Yeah, Jules being won by Heroic. More than ready for that one. With 3 players surviving, it means their economy is, well, still in question for now, considering the score, but on its road to recovery, I guess you could say. However, they've got to start here and now, Risk. They've got to find their second, because LDLC are ripe and ready for this reset. 2 down Ivy. We got B pressure coming through. LDLC going to dive into that B bomb site potentially. The nade goes a bit deep, and they're going to push ahead of it. No, looked for a second like they were hungry to go for this attack, but right now just hoping Heroic overface. Maybe once the smoke is faded, Alex can go for this AWP pick. We actually have 2 on the T side right now. Molly's going to spot the peak, and he's just going to shut it down. 2 frags from him. Top of the train. Easy game, and Heroic in a great situation.
Once again, just like the round before, I feel like the lack of utility when going to grab map control or going to just grab anything is actually hurting LDLC, because they go down lower and what? Like there's a smoke dissipating, they just walk through it. No click flash, no Molotov to force a player away, no smoke to cover. They just go in. That seems so weird to me, because usually LDLC are very structured when it comes to taking map control. And it's going to be a perfect round from Heroic.
Yeah, so clean. Great shot from Mertz as well. He even gets tagged, but gets away with a headshot through the side of the wall. So as you say, yeah, perfect round, flawless. No death set for Heroic. That's so important.
Where's the flash?
I think it's just LDLC trying to abuse the potential of Heroic not watching that position. I mean, it's just a gamble more than anything. But the problem is, you're pulling a gamble in a round that's going to put you to eco if you lose it. So that's also the case for LDLC.
It is such a standard position. Usually when you go for an execute, you go for the smoke towards lower, the Molotov on the back of the first train towards lower, and then a flash timing towards exactly that position. That is the most standard B explosion you have. And they have none of that. Like, all those 3 positions could be completely filled with CTs technically. I don't know. That just seems like a weird choice to me.
It's going to come back to haunt them, Risk. That is the problem here.
Because it was 5-0, and this is now 2 rounds in a row where they made mistakes.
Ooh, I bet S-Tag jumped to that one. Does get the kill regardless. Jump cross in main, not going to be connecting from Mertz, but he's going back in for a second. Still unable. LDLC not giving him the biscuit just yet. Great shot from Alex. He's going to put Asilian down to 10 HP through that wall. That must have been a dink. So
dink through the wood.
Yeah. They're chipping away, but still yet to find a kill for LDLC. And again, this is not a round that they should be winning either way. It's only Deagles. But they'll creep down towards B, and Moddy's got a good off angle to catch him off guard.
He's got the device angle. Here we go. Let's see how many kills he gets. I would bet on at least 2.
Ooh, timing is good, is great. Moddy finds both. There's a 3rd man there though, and trade comes in from Amanek, but still only 1 rifle grab, and he's not got armor behind it, so Heroic, they know he's B, they're just going to rotate in. He's not even got the bomb, he gets a frag, but that will be it. 3 players surviving for Heroic. The eco round not being bad for LDLC, but we're waiting for that buy to come through in this upcoming round.
They're basically getting what we would expect they would with a couple of Deagles. Yeah. So what they wanted to do more than that was to get the bomb down. That kind of gets denied by the play up towards the device angle. Yeah. Very nicely done, nonetheless, from Heroic. Just shutting it down, showing that they have some consistency, even against bad economy rounds, which can be a problem sometimes when you're playing against LDLC. I know, my team has been through it. Sometimes when they have this low buy, they just surprise you. And it can be very dangerous if you allow that to happen separate times.
Mertz putting the pressure on Main in this one, but this is the opening duel. That's going to be a big issue now, because it's given LDLC the free room to roam the A bomb site. They're on the other end of the smoke as well. They've got to be careful. Don't want to flash through it. Five on the other side. They go right through. 1-for-1. That's good enough considering they already found that pick earlier on. So still LDLC hold the man advantage. And Asilian is 2 tunnel vision down on the Ivy. He gets shot in the back. Logan making further progress up on this bomb site. Modi's the only man left here as S-Tag is rotating off of B in the connector. So Modi's got it all to do, but nothing to do it with. Smoke in his face, and Heroic already starting to concede this round.
It's going to be very hard for them to win a 2v4 post-plant, so it makes a lot of sense just to stay and hope for maybe 1 exit frags or 2, just so you can make sure that the economy of the T-side doesn't go absolutely rampant. And I think that's the choice right now. Muddy might have heard the footsteps towards Hell, but the T rotates away. Oh, that is unfortunate.
You hate to see it, Riz.
You hate to see it.
That was a free kill there for S-Tag, but he's going to have to just save the AWP. And in fact, now that he doesn't know that Amanex wrapped all the way into his spawn, but he should just be okay. Amanex not going to get there in time.
There's no time. There's no time.
Phew.
It was like second and a half off.
Yeah. 6 rounds up for LDLC. Big round from Logan as well. Not only being able to kill the AWPer, but catch out Asilian when the attention was drawn to Ivy after that 2-for-1 for LDLC.
Yeah, really good timing with the guy on Ivy saying, okay, I'm going to get a kill. He gets the kill. Then I'm going to smoke to draw attention. And that's exactly the second that Logan peeks out from the Olaf position.
And they went for fast A smoke, so they follow up on it. Is this going to be a quick B rush and trying to draw rotations off of that bomb site? The bomb has gone towards Pop Dog, so it could still commit here, but the other players are running right down ramp. They're getting ready for the B burst. However, in the meantime, there's a man in the middle of the site. That is Logan once again. Heroic realizing this, though, rotate Asilian. Great nade to do damage, and Mertz follows up with more and more towards that A site. It's Modi locking down B. 3 kills on him again. He has been off to a strong start for Heroic. Just the AWP left up, it is Twanu. But he's going to need more than 1 if he's going to win this round.
Great play from Muddy, great rotation, and I'm not sure, I think it was Asilian maybe? I'm not sure. Someone rotated in from the connector. And just make sure, actually it was Mertz with the AWP, and that makes a lot of sense.
No, Mertz was the one killing Logan, pushing up on the A site. He was the lurk in the smoke, and then he even rotated and finished off Twanu on B.
There we go.
But, yeah.
Nice rotations nonetheless.
Full house from Heroic, and another round on the board. Puts LDLC down to, well, a bit of an awkward spot in terms of money. They've got the buy here, but it's not going to be perfect, nor will it go any further than this. Even with a bomb plant, they are going to be out of luck. So.
Let's see what they want to do here. Just set up in the default. Alex trying to take a chance against Mertz, and that's the kind of play that Mertz is just going to make. Like, he's going to rotate all around the map. S-Attack holding down at E-Box. We'll get 1-for-1 trade.
I like that. Look at that. They're throwing in utility on the left side. That's Freiburg trying to force a peek into the hand of Mertz. They know there was a player in the position where the Molotov sits, and so they wanted Twani to cross towards Olaf, allowing Mertz to get that pick with the AWP. Heroic. Some good teamwork there, although it doesn't get them anything, at least for now, because 4 on 3, LDLC still have to make a move. It will be a bomb site after all. Devin Duvek tagged by the AWP of Mertz, back up in the heaven, as you said, constantly repositioning, constantly remaining unpredictable, and he's going to find himself another as well. Twanu dropped, the head spotted, and Amanex, he's the last man left up. Mertz going to try and hit the shot, but Amanex making this work. He's found himself 2.
See if you can go for even more. 40 seconds remaining, but Mertz will shut it down. Triple for him, and that's exactly his playstyle on, for example, Train, when he can just rotate around with his AWP. He can just take new angles every single time, and he can be a constant nuisance. We've seen on lower so far, towards the main, towards the E-Box, towards the connector, towards Ivy, almost every single position apart from upper B. And he's probably going to go upper B on a spawn at some point during this CT set as well. He's going to go all over the map. So you never know where you're going to meet up with Mertz.
Mertz, the magician.
This is going to be, yeah, the eco. Not much. They need some magic right now, to be honest.
Yeah. They need to pull a round out of this hat. They might be able to do so on B, but unlikely with this kind of buy. Modi, he's been so good here before, but he's going to get taken down this time. The Glock in the back. Asilian still drops 1, and he can make it worth as well. He can try and take down some of these players. He might not be able to stop the bomb plant, but actually, as I say that, Logan's pushed up very deep, and the bomb's been left out in the open. You're right. Well, Logan will be able to potentially get kills here. He's not going to win the round for it. And eventually finished off means Alex actually does get that bomb plant after all, but small consolation. Heroic are moving in for the kill. They know exactly where he is. S-Tag from above. And that's a 6th round. So this strong start for LDLC, Risk. This is a 5-0. It's now 6-6.
But very important to get the bomb plant here, because you see Devaduvik on 1600. So very nice that they get that extra money bonus in, making sure that they can get everything they want equipment-wise out of the round. But you're right. It was a strong start for LDLC, but Heroic just got back into the game, read what they were doing, and kind of like, okay, got the answers, the aggressive peak onto lower, rotating Mertz around all the time, playing for each other as the team play you said before, forcing away with Molotovs and flashbangs, just working together. That constant stream of communication, of constantly offering a flash, telling what you can do for your teammate to help them, so they don't have to call it out themselves. That's so important when you get to this upper echelon of Counter-Strike.
Ooh, Cillian hungry once again. We've seen this before. It's got Modi on the support, and there's even that AWP and Mertz down on ramp, but he'll start to fall back with no immediate progress made towards B from LDLC. A very wise rotation considering that LDLC, from our perspective, is sitting outside of A. That bomb's still on the spawn as well, which is more likely to be picked up and dragged towards T-Con. Freiburg tasked with not only watching the Ivy, but also checking down Olaf, making sure these guys aren't pushing out. Mertz goes above and beyond, but oh, this is so good because the smokes are down for LDLC. They're trying to throw in an A fake, but because Mertz goes above the smoke, he knows this is going to be B. He's surely got the information, so Modi is going to be more than ready for this push.
He's holding the left angle. Are they going to pre-flash it or just going to run in? Just going to run in, I think.
They've rotated a player off of B. Maybe this is the wrong read.
Nice for Modi though, he gets a 1-for-1. With the pre-flash coming in, that's probably the best thing you could hope for. And this is the B play. Rotations are coming in from the CT side, but Alex has the huge flank. Twanu will be shut down. S-Attack from the back. That's the bomb gone down. But now Alex on the opposite side of things, trying to battle it back. 1v3 now, as Amanek is taken out.
And surely no time for this as well. S-Tag has single-handedly made this heroics round. Alex has to rush this, grab the bomb, and get the bomb. S-Tag will not give him a second. 4 kills on that flank. What a sick round from S-Tag. This man is going to win it all on his own, because even though, you know, he gets 1 frag, they don't need to hunt that down. They don't need to chase S-Tag on the flank. But it's that second kill where he drops the bomb that makes it his. They then have to dedicate themselves to going back up that ladder and into the waiting moors of S-Tag. And as a result, Risk, that's going to be the money broken.
7-6. S-Attack, of course, Mertz was the standout player and was the MVP of the Toyota Masters tournament. But S-Attack, through the last 3-4 months, has without a doubt been my favorite player on this heroic lineup. Yeah. He does so much for the team. He's so stable. And apparently what I hear, his communication is also very, very nice.
Seems very calm.
Never tilts. He's always on point, always calm. And just a great team player as well.
It was when he got re-added, when he was in that down period before he left this team, and they brought back S-Tag off the bench after they got rid of Rubino. Yeah. And he was just going lights out. He was primary AWPing at that point, and I just remember him tearing up online CS for a few weeks. But now he's back on the rifle, and I couldn't be happier. Very, very strong player with Mertz by his side, and talking of which, he's already dropped the AWP for the T side, although Twanu only had a pistol for now.
It's a really interesting setup when you have like the 2 star players. Oh, there we go. 2 players drop down as well to make shenanigans, but the 2 star players of Mertz and S-Attack, and then Modi, the 3rd man. But right now, can't really do much against the Deagle of Devaduvik. Double smoke, actually just 1, so not wasting anything, but Astilian is more than ready for this.
Yeah, into
deep nade. Nice shot from Mertz. Lockdown.
Well, that's a rip for LDLC, unless Amanek has something up his sleeve. Deagle in his hand, but not going to happen. Vasilian scoped in, and I mean, this is the perfect gun for the York. We see Carrigan picking this up for FaZe a lot on Train especially. I mean, he likes it on any map, but especially Train, playing Ivy, playing that back B rotate position as well.
You can play very effective. Almost any position apart from Pop Dog with that AWP. Yeah. Like this, like also even if you like play the shock laner close to Olaf to shut that main connector down, like you can play that angle as well. You can be on the back of Trains going up and down the ladder. Also play that with the AWP. Like almost every single position on Train you can play with that.
Cillian, he's gone a bit aggressive this time. He wants to bring the heat. Double nade in main, won't connect. Alex is further back, and we got the double AWP in for the T side, but they spotted that cross. They saw the man on the left side, and Cillian just going to hunt him down, spray him through the box. Alex never even saw his opponent. And now Heroic had the man advantage and further damage off the back of that. Logan's down to 25, but Amanek's wrapped in through the spawn. Do they know this? Is the smoke down? I think he's covered from behind, but they might have an inkling.
I think they spray through the smoke, so they have some kind of idea that this area could be given away, and that's why Asilian is kind of trying to jiggle peek it. Doesn't work out in the end. So he has all this map control now, but they know where he is. I was about to say, don't peek into his angle right now.
Yeah, he is the thorn in their side.
Just lock down the area, hold one CT, hold one close outside, which is Freiburg. He's doing his job correctly right now. Try to wrap around.
Amanek spotted him, but stuck out in the open, and Freiburg's going to come back in for the trade. Deviduek now the last man alive, and he's also on a CT wrap. This time from the B-bomb site. They might hear these footsteps if he gets any closer, and just like that, oh, he spots the barrel of the gun. He knows exactly where Freiburg is, but that's not going to be mutual. Freiburg's caught in the open. Deviduek now in a 1v1, but he's up against S-Tag on that AWP, and as we said, this man is a beast. 9 rounds for Heroic, and the half going to be taken in their favor. S-Tag
such a complete player. Like, I don't think there's, apart from in-game leading, which he probably would be good at as well, like, there's nothing he can't do. Yeah. He can play the AWP, he can play the rifle, he can be the star player, he can be the support player.
Yeah, we've seen him in almost every role. And this man has been quite a demon for this team. Alongside Mertz has said, I mean, it is those 3 that you brought up the other round. You know, Mertz, Modi, and S-Tag, all 3 of these guys, top of the scoreboard here for Heroic. Amanek doing his best to try and stop them, but Heroic running away with a 9-round CT side. When I say running away, though, that's still pretty standard. 9-6 on the CT side is what you would expect.
Like, that's usually they get either an 8-7 or a 9-6 on their CT side Heroic. So it's nothing too crazy, but if you think about that, it was 5-0 for LDLC. Basically, that's 9-1 in the rest of the first half. That's insanely well played by Heroic. But never underestimate LDLC. A lot of teams, including my own, have done that in the past. I'm still salty.
We all saw that 14-7 comeback on you, Chris.
Dude.
We all know.
So Heroic, they're not going to make any mistakes here.
Well, S-Tag's got a Tech 9. I've not seen this one in a while. I'd love to see if this finds anything. Because I remember when it got buffed, a couple of pros used it for about a week, and that was about it. He might find a free kill with Alex getting aggressive. He sees a shadow free kill for S-Tag. Unfortunate for Alex there. Heroic now taking that man advantage, and there's nothing LDLC can do about it. They are passive as ever.
Yeah, I like that little setup where you have one in anti-flash, basically with his back turned to an eventual flashbang, and then one facing the duel. If a CT comes aggressive, that's S-Attack with the Tech 9. Because that first bullet on the Tech 9 is deadly.
Yeah.
And then you have the secondary play in the anti-flash position. If the flashbang comes in, he turns around and he can take the duel straight up with the Glock.
Every other round, apart from that first round, is useless in the Tech 9.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's going to be that B play for Heroic. I've got Modi already here and a bit of a burst down ramp. Deviduek, he's drawn to the heaven, but the real push is down lower and he can't stop that bomb from crossing. He can't even kill Mertz, who's found that frag. Asilian following up, pushing towards the connector as the bomb gets planted by S-Tag. 2 players left up for LDLC. This is as done as can be. They're just getting hunted down. Mertz and Asilian cleaning up that round. Nice work. We'll put Heroic on double digits. We'll take them that one step closer to victory here in their opening game.
Very confident at this point. And LDLC, they haven't really found anything to get back into this game so far. Of course, it's still early days in that second half, but first half did look kind of weak at the end.
Well, yeah, you've got to remember the context of it, right? LDLC went 5-0 up. It was then Heroic to find 3 CT rounds. LDLC get 1 more, and then it's just a reset and a solid half for the rest of it. 6 more for Heroic. I mean, LDLC have not found back-to-back rounds since round number 5, and we are in 17 here, Risk.
They need something in this first buy round. It's going to be very hard for them to battle back in the game unless they get something done in that one. Mac 10 on Modi and Galil on Freiburg are the 2 weapons, actually along with the Galil on Asilian, that they want to try and start battling out with to begin with. Those are the expendable ones. Want to definitely keep the AKs. And that's why Freiburg is the one facing and Mertz is sitting in the corner, holding an angle.
But even expendable, I mean, they don't need to lose anyone in this round. There's only a P250 for LDLC. This could be completely flawless if things all go to plan for Heroic. Modi is going to be able to catch out this Ivy player with a Mac 10 jumping around the corner. There's one more to deal with. S-Tag, well, he is tagged up a little bit. The spray through the smoke will, well, relieve any damage done by LDLC. They are starting to get hounded. And Mertz, another frag to his name, leaves just Logan. Smoked in the pop dog, and he smoked again. Goodbye. That bomb plant's going to be allowed, and there's nothing Logan can do. 11 to Heroic, but look at the health. Skin of their teeth there.
It's very close. Also, the player behind the smoke, the second it pops, goes for the peak, and for some reason, Freiburg just turns around and spams him through the smoke, really dancing frag. The player on old bomb train, he gets the last bullet of Mertz's AK straight in the face.
Hate to see it.
The last bullet.
What can you do?
Unlucky for LDLC.
Yeah. I mean, it's only an eco round at the end of the day, so $300 spent, not really a loss.
And also, it's the difference between 0 kills or 2 kills. Like, it's not that big of a deal in the big picture because that's just the MAC-10 gone and one of the Galils.
One thing you do have to remember as well is if LDLC find kills here, it may force Heroic to go for rebuys, right? And if they don't go for rebuys, then they're going to come into this round with Galils, with a MAC-10, with potential weaknesses that LDLC can exploit. So, of course, not that you should ever play to not get kills, but it can benefit them in some ways.
High risk, high reward now for Heroic. So if they win this on the bonus round, in quotation marks, they're going to be on 12-6 with money for almost the rest of the... that's a bit of an overstatement, but still, like, this is the round, if any, that LDLC has a chance to grab it in. Yes, they don't have that much utility, and yes, they don't have a kit, but compared to a couple of Galils and a MAC-10, this is the best chance firepower-wise they're going to have for the rest of this second half.
Oh, very close for Freiburg. 3 Orgs for LDLC to note. They don't have the Orb, but the next best thing, or I guess that would be the Scout. Oh well.
3 Orcs.
Yeah. B push as well. They're going to just burst out heaven. We've only got one man here. He is on the correct angle, but that timing. He switches between the two, and there's no one coming down ramp right now. It's a late push down ramp because a real push is out from the top. Estad getting the entry, and the only man on B is going to be removed. Alex not able to hold the line either as Mertz pushes up close, and with that smoke in the connector, it only allows him more room to work with. Just like that risk, it's a save.
And they get an AUG. That's the most important thing, Hugo.
Yeah.
Forget the round win. You get an AUG.
And it's on a Cillian. That's who you want it on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's been having a great game as well. The in-game leader of Heroic.
The newest addition to the team. Actually, you could argue that Mertz is that, or Peacemaker even is that, if you count a coach as an addition, which I think at this day and age in Counter-Strike is fair enough to do.
I mean, he barely even left.
That is actually true.
Oh, the great flashbang, actually. Oh, 2 flashbangs. Wow, there's nothing to do about that. The trade's there.
That's perfect. That's perfect for Heroic.
They don't save the AUG, but they get the guns out. There's only one weapon saved.
I think they actually had the opportunity to get another AUG out if they wanted. Let's see what they have. Looks like a timeout is being taken from LDLC. The coach just having a few words with the players. Which at this point, actually, no, it wasn't a timeout. It was just freeze time, basically. That's something you have to remember as well. This is a DreamHack tournament, so coaches can communicate. And they do in these freeze times and half times as well. Actually, something
unless he was
really
talking to himself, who knows?
He might be as well. No one knows. That's actually something that I really like. I think that's the way it should be. That coaches, just like in most of the sports, when the game isn't live, when you're not in a round playing, the coach should be able to talk, even though it's just for 5 seconds. Because sometimes just a small correction can be put out there in 5 seconds. Or like one call, for example.
Oh, that's annoying. Alex jumped up in main. I don't know if that was heard at all. There is a man, Mertz, sitting outside of this position. I think he was a little bit too far away.
Aims left. If he aims straight left, then yes. Right now he's just searching every single corner.
Yeah. There's a bit of support though. Even if Alex goes down, there should be a re-peek down on Olaf from Twanu.
Is there going to be a flash from S-Attack? Or maybe just a double peek to clear it? Yeah, probably just a double peek.
And they seem very aware of the possibility that someone could be here, and that is going to be justified. But in the meantime, look at this Ivy push. Look at Heroic's progress down this position. They are drawing a lot of attention towards CT spawn. Alex needs to be aware, and now he's not got the support of Twanu. Alex is already going to be removed. Now it's just Twanu. Pincers between 2, but he's found the first. No more than that. It's only an eco for LDLC, but at 12-6, they need everything they can get and more. And right now, it's just not looking good. Amanek going down through the smoke. And Logan, pretty much the single bastion here for LDLC. He won't be able to stop the bomb farm, but he might be able to take a kill with it. There's Money dead, but it's a 3-on-1. This is done.
Devaduvek with a Desert Eagle. Not going to do much. And Heroic going to be on 13-6. And great showing so far for the Danes.
Yeah, this has just been really clean to watch. Like really, really nice basic Counter-Strike from Heroic. Some good executes.
That, like beginning, it has been all Heroic from there on out.
Yeah, I thought LDLC were going to run away with this game when we were seeing those 5 rounds. Heroic just looked lost, but since they've got guns in their hands and this AWP as well on Mertz, they have just been tearing through these Frenchmen. Mertz on 18 kills right now. Great start here for Heroic, but this is the round. This is it. LDLC, they're running out of options, Riz. They've got this, and then they've got nothing. And AWP is on Amanek and Twanu. A couple of Orgs as well. They're scoped up and ready to go, and Amanek is at least going to be finding first blood.
Stealing now. Setting up for outside nades. Could be just a fake. As Mertz and the others are positioned for the inner push. S-Attack and the boys. What's the play going to be? What's the timing going to be? Smoke towards connector. Molotov first train. Flash timing out. No Molotov. It's just going to be the flash timing out. And what a shot from Mertz. Davidovik on the back of the train now.
Yeah, he's got to go huge, but they run past him. Can he get the spray? Great transfer with the AWP, but he needs to follow up, and one is not enough. They're already down a man now that Mertz picks up the rotation from that connector, and they pushed up close as well. Asilian keeping them contained. There's a man on the other side, but Logan jumps to his death. And just like that, that is the death maybe of LDLC in this round and potentially in this game. Heroic have found 14 as Hamanek retreats from the bomb site. And LDLC, with only one gun to their name saved so far. This is going to be, what, a force buy at 14-6? Eco for overtime? I mean, both of these options are severely unrealistic. I don't think it matters the difference what they go for.
No, like, not with the way that they played the first half, or the end of the first half and the beginning of the second half. Like, there's been nothing to indicate that LDLC has a big chance of coming back into this game, apart from that 5-0. We've seen one round for them. And in all the other rounds, it's looking very, very clean for Heroic. Hasn't really been down to a specific 1v1. I think the only time it came down to a 1v1 was that one round where S-Attack was outside with the AWP and he won the straight 1v1. That's the only time I can remember, I can recall so far. And it's going to be the force buy, which is not a bad force buy and not a bad choice either. But this is putting almost all of it on the line right now for LDLC. They need this round.
They don't have many more options, Risk. 2 more till the game is over if Heroic are to find both of these. And there's nothing to indicate, as you say, that that isn't the case right now. S-Tag getting flashed into B with Modi. They're keeping up the pressure. There's still this Ivy control down for Heroic with Freiberg in position.
And no one is watching No Man's right now. So usually what you want is someone to just jiggle the position towards lower and spot the feed if they go towards No Man's, which is the area behind the B bomb site. No one has control over that. No one has vision on that. So technically, Heroic could just go in there and just execute B. That's not going to be the play this round, but it's just worrying that they rotate so far away from the initial duels, and that's just showing that either they have a very defensive CT setup or they're actually afraid of taking any form of fights against Heroic. And when you are in that mindset, you're already behind. Like, it's almost like the game is lost before you even play it.
Well, they're not completely fearful. Logan gets flashed
nice.
into main, but they'll be ready for it. Modi's already heard the flashbang. He knows there's a player in there, and he'll get that kill. S-Tag's now the follow-up man who pushes into position as Modi gets tagged. And given the AWP as well from Mertz, capable rifler, this shouldn't be a huge problem, but Amanek could be the issue. He's actually only going to get taken down by Mertz. Dalek's on the back of the bomb site with the AWP once again. Twanu good for one. Freiberg jumping through the smoke to his death, but S-Tag fires on back through it. It's only Devo Duvek. And while he's on the flank from Pop Dog, he's not got the range to play with. It's a lone UMP. 20 seconds on the clock. This bomb needs to go down. He can try and stop it, but the AWP's posted on his position. The smoke is going to cut him off. And he's got to make the gamble. Does he stay or does he go? He goes home. Modi sends him packing. And 15 rounds to Heroic. They will pick it up.
Heroic on the edge of doing what Optic couldn't. Danish team to grab their first win here in the tournament. I say Danish. 2 technically Swedish players. We're gonna adopt Modi for now.
We're going core. They are Danish.
Yeah.
Core.
We're gonna take Freiberg as well. It's pretty nice. I like him. He's a good guy. He could be a part of Denmark. To be honest, like Sweden and Denmark should just unite anyway. Be the strongest CS nation in the world.
Look at this. It's getting political now.
Yeah. Good old Kalmar Unionen.
Look at this creep from Heroic. They've just snuck into B. I mean, David Duvek is about to get absolutely domed on the bomb site. He has no idea what hit him. A trade, maybe. Modi just going to be running through the Molotov there and into the connector. There's no way they're ready for that one.
He might get a knife now. Oh, he's merciful. No knife this time around. And 2 players remaining. A shotgun on Amanek and Twanu with a M4, this is Mission Impossible, cue Tom Cruise. But in this movie, the good guys, well, good guys is kind of ambiguous, but at least the guys who are underdogs don't win.
No. Amanek here's the flank. Freiburg was ready for that knife kill.
And then Amanek comes in.
Still, time is gone. He's got no kit. There's 3 players alive, and he gets double peaked. Decillion shuts it down, and Heroic will pick up their first win here in Sweden in a dominant fashion. That's the most dominant game we've had today. And on paper, this is the biggest 50-50 as well. So that's a pretty successful win for Heroic. I've got to say, it didn't look like the LDLC we saw a few weeks ago in Chicago, but Heroic have just been going strength to strength recently, and this is them proving it once again.
Heroic on the rise. LDLC slowly declining a bit, but they're going to have to go back and think about this game. What did we do wrong? What can we do different? Because their tournament is not over yet. Far from it.
No. Yeah, they've still got a chance. Obviously, they can bounce back up against Team Existence Galaxy. That was a team to lose earlier on today. So, yeah, there's a good chance that they could go back into either a rematch with Heroic or a game versus Complexity to get out of the group. It's not over for LDLC by any means. That's, of course, counting out Team Existence, but another huge underdog. However, it doesn't mean we shouldn't believe in underdogs. We saw that previous game with Bravado.
We definitely saw that. So no one's going to count anyone out so far in this tournament. But big congratulations to Heroic. LDLC, commiserations to them. We'll go and fight in the elimination game, which of course is going to be an interesting one to say the least. But enough to talk about games. Now we have someone to discuss what happened in them. It's going to be the analyst desk.
Thank you very much, fellas. And yes, have a great rest of your day as we do bring in a fresh and new commentary pair. And right now, we're going to be trying to make some sense of why LDLC kind of faltered and really didn't find themselves coming across the finish line and really making a strong case for themselves here in the beginning portions of DreamHack Open.
Yeah, I mean, we saw them get off to a good start, a 5-0 lead, you know, looking demanding, looking well prepared, and looking well playing. 6-3 as well. I sort of had the feeling, all right, LDLC may be able to run away with this game, but all of a sudden, you know, Heroic just turned up as the team we've seen them be the past few months. You know, they're getting better and better. They're getting more calculated. They're getting more consistent in the way they play. They have the stars showing up. Isotech, Mertz, all of the guys, you know, are playing well. And when you have a team composition consisting of great Danish players like that, it's just tough for the LDLC guys to do anything. Amanek didn't have the best game of his own. Daviduvik didn't have that demanding game either. So it's one of those situations where when you're facing a team that is playing that well, if you're not LDLC and you're playing up to your best, you're going to lose, and you're going to lose big time.
Absolutely. One thing I got to point out about Heroic was, like you mentioned, when it was 5-0, after that, of the 17 rounds played, they won 16 of them, the last 13 in a streak. So LDLC seemed completely lost. Like I said, the city side's never been that great. They didn't even get one round here. And once Heroic kind of adapted to what LDLC was throwing at them, let's be honest, the first 5 rounds, many of them were eco wins because they kept breaking the money, right? After that, the way they were setting up their city side and the way they're holding the sites, they weren't going for aggressive plays, but players like Modi stepping on the smaller bomb site and whatnot, I think overall shows good signs for Heroic. I think they're going to be looking very good here going forward into the tournament.
You want to talk about looking good? That's what we're going to talk about. In fact, we're going to have a prime example of it. Now, when I say looking good, looking at this man known as the King of Banana, Freiburg himself, standing by. Sir, you know, on paper, statistically, not your best showing, but you guys got in there and you got it done. How are you feeling about that opening victory?
Feels really good. I mean, caring about how I play individually when we win a game like that. I mean, we won really convincingly. I think we had a good game plan. We executed the game plan. We knew what they were up to a lot. So I think we came into the game prepared, and that showed off.
You recently added the Peacemaker as your coach again. I don't know if you were around the team when he was with the team the first time, but what does he bring to the team, and why is Peacemaker part of Heroic once again?
We felt like we needed some more preparation, like more analyze, and then Peacemaker is definitely one of the best in the scene. Preparing for opponents is really good on making it as easy for us as possible when we go into a game. I mean, sitting and watching demos, it's really takes a lot of time, and having a coach that could help it out and make the whole process a lot smoother, it's a lot like it just feels really good coming into a game and feel prepared.
Well, some might even say he brings in the whole package, I think is one thing that could be put there. What do you have for him, Bled?
Quick question would be like, they're playing against LDLC. They won the first 5 rounds, sure. You know, quite a few of them were eco-runs and whatnot. What changed? Like, did you guys? We've seen this happen, right? Especially when in Toyota Masters, when you guys played against Tylee, when you used to I kind of felt like you stumbled over yourselves here and there. But what changed this time around? What enabled you to like completely turn the game here?
Like you said, we only lost the first 5 rounds that they won, there were 2 weapon rounds that we lost, and then we kind of got a lot of kills, so we knew we could break them here. Like, they haven't built up too great of an economy, so just playing our game, like we had a few tells on them, like what we kind of knew what they like to do, so we just tried to like over-rotate a little bit when we felt like this is happening, and it paid off almost all the times that we did. And then I feel like we are confident in our CT side. I think that we are improving a lot. We have had struggles with CT train before, but I think we're getting better and better. And I think it's more like we're getting better and better playing with each other. And I think that's the key here. Like we're playing very good, helping each other out when we're getting pressured on our different positions across the map.
Kind of like a comfortability, if you will. You guys are kind of finding that mesh that a lot of teams maybe even struggle and not even find it ever in some regards.
Sure.
Yeah. There's no doubt that you guys are getting better and better, and you've also now started to win tournaments, which obviously must be a nice feeling. I'm thinking to myself here, what is the goal for Heroic going into 2019? There's no doubt that you're getting better and better, as you said, but I reckon you guys want to go up there and play the Tier 1 events and maybe have a shot at winning those as well.
I mean, going and winning Tier 1 events, I think that's pretty far off, if I'm honest. And but like attending them, like you said, going to events, getting to play against the very best teams in the world. We have gone to a couple of events with this lineup, and also with the previous Heroic lineup. And I mean, we have shown that we can put up a good fight against the very best teams in the world. We're playing Pro League, for example, where we also play against the very best. So going to those events and just getting better and better, it's a grind, obviously, but I feel like, you know, the goal is for sure to go to those events on a regular basis and feel like we're more and more establishing ourselves like a top 10 team.
Cool. Well, congratulations, Mr. Adam. I do believe that you guys will be going up against Complexity next. Anything you could tell us before we let you go?
No, I mean, it feels good playing it. I mean, not really. Complexity is obviously a tough matchup, for sure. But it's fun playing in DreamHack again. It's been a while, and it's kind of like, this is my home crowd, right? This is my home turf. So, yeah, feels really good.
So coming in new, let's do it, and I guess we'll see you when that one goes down a little bit later, Adam.
Yep, see you later.
All right, guys, closing thoughts before we get into the nitty-gritty, and I get us out of here before I go into the next game.
A little bit disappointed in LDLC not showing more, you know, of the depth. I feel like after 5-0 lead, you gotta be at least able to proceed into a close game. They just got blown out by a much better playing Heroic. So kudos to them, and LDLC, they gotta refine themselves in the lower bracket. Good thing for them is they're playing probably, potentially the weakest team in this tournament, so they have a cushion pod here to get back into shape and maybe get Heroic in another game in a best of 3 tomorrow. Absolutely.
The one thing which I pointed out earlier as well was the CD side were looking very discombobulated, and so to speak, but I'm a little disappointed, like you said, that they really didn't show anything apart from the beginning first few rounds. So Existence Galaxy, that's a team where they should win very comfortably and kind of reset their minds and then continue to, try and go deep into the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, they do have that little bit of a cushion that they're not out yet. They do have a best of 3 to play, and the only cushion and comfortability I want to be talking about at this point is joining the Astro family. That's right. Head over to www.astrogaming.com. I don't even know if people use www anymore, but head over there and get yourself an Astro headset. That's the only way to join the actual Astro family. We've got another best of 1 coming your way, and we're finally and slowly getting towards the latter half of the day. And that, of course, is going to be bringing some upsets and sending some players and some teams on into the semifinals. We're not there at the winners matches yet, but we will be shortly, because when we come back, we do have ints, where it's not always easy, but it could very well be over this new looking G2. We're going to go to a break. We come back. We got the next best of 1 coming your way.